In between the lines, it's Super Bowl weekend. Joe following up on the NFL honors. Let's go ahead and dive into some of our sports shorts very quickly. What was your thoughts on the NFL honors? Actually, we can go over some of the people that won the awards. Let's see here. Well, as while I'm pulling it up, just give me your take on
Well,
the weekend event thus far.
well done. Well done, NFL honors. Later on, I'll get into that one hiccup that I didn't like that happened with Drewski and one of the players that won an award. However, um, that's what players look at. That's what players look to, and the entertainment part of it, the skits, the songs, the appearances by just people outside of the athletic realm was something to behold. And when you think about sports and in football in particular, and this week in particular, dealing with the Super Bowl coming up, which is one of the biggest events you want to possibly look at, one of the biggest events you want to possibly be about. How many celebrities, how many well-known figures are going to be in Santa Clara, California right now? Oh, we're going to be there on Sunday. It's just a big event, and NFL honors captured that with the script, the who is who. And I think at some point they can replace that, or they can do away with the Pro Bowl and just have NFL honors have that throughout the whole entire week. But that's way, way more of an event than the Pro Bowl.
I agree 1,000%. So I'm trying to pull up and see in regards to the NFL Honor Awards. I mean, I guess we could start off with the MVP. It was
Yeah.
obviously Matthew Stafford brought MVP, who we both thought was gonna win. Well
Well, be
deserved.
careful, Vaughn. Yeah, well deserved, but be careful when you say, I know for you and I, obviously, because the voters didn't quite see it that way. It's one of the closest votes ever. I think the place votes went 24 to Matthew Stafford, or maybe 25, and then 23 to Drake Maye. So it was very, very close, and I like that because when you're dealing with NFL honors and you're dealing with MVPs and those type things, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, they don't usually get it wrong. And those voters don't have an axe to grind. And those voters not trying to one up somebody. I think they take their job pretty seriously. So I really respect that. But for it to be that close, um, I wouldn't necessarily say Matthew Stafford, wiped his sweat off his head or anything like that. Whew, I finally got one, but 17 years in a Hall of Fame type career and winning his first MVP, and not only that, announcing that he would be returning for his 18th season. I thought that was pretty special.
Oh, I missed that he said he would be returning, but why go out on the MVP? Go out on the MVP. You might as well. I didn't know he threw for how many yards? Like almost six
Oh,
thousand yards.
no, not in one season, like 40 something hundred. No, not one season. No, if he did that, he'd have been an all time record.
So
No,
it wasn't 56.
no, sir, absolutely
Okay,
not.
I was about to say that's crazy.
No, that is absolutely crazy. And he had his four daughters up there on the stage, dressed
Right.
the same way, and I think that was a good, cool moment for him. And it's hard, Vaughn. You know how hard it is for you to get to the NFC Championship game, win MVP, and then announce you're going to retire. Ooh, he's got a lot left in the tank, in my opinion.
I would agree with that 1,000%. Mike Vrabel winning AP Coach of the Year. What's your thoughts in regards to that?
Well, a lot of great candidates. And I don't want to use the term "great" loosely. Liam Cohen from Jacksonville could have gotten it. He could have gone over there with Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. Mike McDonald, what Mike McDonald did, ended the season in a 8 game winning streak. All those are great, great candidates. But I just think the way Mike Vrabel galvanized those guys, the culture he's built in one year to turn around that way, um, it, it could have gone a couple of different ways, but that one does not surprise me at all. I really like it. And in the votes, and the way the votes were so close about the finalists, because there were top five who made it. Who was they broke it down to the top five who made who got enough votes, and then only three. They broke it down to even the top three. So that just showed you how close it was that nobody really ran away with it.
No, agreed 1,000%. Then you had AP comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey. I think he should have went to. I think he should have went to who in the Super Bowl. Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs should have got AP comeback player of the year. Because I mean, when did McCaffrey leave? I know he was battling injury, but when
Yeah.
necessarily was it that he was? When did he come back? He always been an impact player once he been playing.
Well, thank you, Vaughn. Thank you so very much. And even when you say Stephon Diggs, when did he come back? Right? He played last year.
Yeah, but he definitely fell off coming off from an ACL injury.
Yeah, he did fell off. So what I'm saying
Not
about
even
it,
fall off is hard, is a harder term, but he is not the same Stephon Diggs as it. He's showing grit and
sure.
leadership through a different way, not necessarily impacting on the field as he was before, but he just impacting the team and the game in a different way, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Up until 2 years ago, I totally got the comeback player of the year award wrong. I thought you had to be out the previous season. I thought you had to end that in the season the previous year on the IR or miss 8+ games. But when I was reading up on it, when I saw that Christian McCaffrey won the award, no, you just want to have all you have to do is improve from the year you had last year, and it had to be a great improvement. So you didn't have to be coming off an injury. So that's where I was a little mistaken about the comeback player of the year and what it was all about. It's just not about coming back off injuries like I thought. You can be coming back off a down season that you played and then win it.
This was the one you was alluding to with Drewski, the JSN winning Offensive Player of the Year. Not shocking. It obviously could have went
Oh
to
no,
the Rams receiver Puka Nakua.
not neck and neck, absolute neck and neck. When you lead the NFL in receiving yards, when you almost have the trifecta that Puka Nakua did a few years back, that's a no-brainer because he's special. He is absolutely special, phenomenal.
And I mean, no question, legendary performance from Myles Garrett. He was winning Defensive Player of the Year. That was unanimous. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is a guy from McMillan from the Panthers, wide receiver.
Oh yes, and I wouldn't say he didn't deserve it because obviously he put up really good numbers. But there were some down years as far as offensive rookies and performing the way they should. Can you even think about any other rookies that were going to be up there? Who did he go up against? What was the other rookies of the year that even was a quarterback? So those type things is not a little disappointing because he put up numbers, but this wasn't a great, in my opinion, rookie class.
I agree. I was just about to say even Carson Swinsinger winning defensive rookie, the Browns linebacker. You know, I guess he made a few plays, but when you got Myles Garrett on that defense, it might be a bit easier to make some plays. And shout out to Bobby Wagner with the Commanders winning Man of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year, talking about the service and whatnot that these gentlemen give week in and
And
week
he,
out.
oh, absolutely, Vaughn. And if you were to hear some NFL guys that won awards before and won Super Bowls, went to Super Bowls, NFC Championship games, AFC Championship games, what have you, they tell you that that award is the most prestigious award you can win in the NFL. Even being nominated, every time you watch an NFL game or throughout the latter parts of the season, they will say that the NFL Man of the Year nominee from a specific team. So there are 32 nominees, and they'll say to you that to get nominated from your team, to even be in the pool to win it all is such an honor.
Honor,
So
yeah.
shout out to Bobby Wagner because they take that very seriously about community relationship, giving back. galvanizing everybody, making sure, like you said, armed services and first responders, just doing the right thing, and while playing a high level of football. So yeah, shout out to Bobby Wagner, no doubt.
I also want to introduce our 2026 NFL Hall of Fame class. We got Roger Craig, old school. He waited 30 years. Wow. What 30 years to get in. Obviously Drew Brees, your Heisman finalist
Yes, sir.
partner. You got Adam Vinatieri. Is Adam Vinatieri the first kicker to ever get in the Hall of Fame?
No, sir. I cannot remember the top of my head who else is in it, but it's not. He's not the first. No.
Then we got, of course, Luke Kuechly, linebacker. He's one of the youngest to get in. And then we got Larry Fitzgerald, Mr. Consistency, with a gold jacket. I mean, I don't have much to say in regards to them. Great job, great career. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. They obviously coming in the same year with a bit of controversy.
That's right.
As great as all of them are, Vinatieri would not be in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for Bill Belichick. And right. But other than that, what can we say? Well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. And when you look at Roger Craig, that's voter from Kansas City, the Kansas City Star, and he said he's the only one that came out and said that the reason why he didn't pick Tom Brady on his ballot, number one was Bill Belichick on his ballot. Number one is because he wanted those guys with the last opportunity to get in, so he wanted to vote those guys in, and he was thinking all those other coaches or all those other voters and writers were going to do the right thing. And he had no idea that Bill Belichick would not get in. But shout out to Roger Craig, 30 years and running. After the induction speak and after this year, nothing's going to come up about 30 years, waiting 30 years. He's going to wear that gold jacket with pride, and he probably shed tears when they knocked on his door and they presented him with the jacket. And
you haven't seen it? You haven't seen the video when they knocked on his door?
Not his door. I didn't see his door. I'm sure it's something special. Special.
I'm gonna have to send that one to you because he didn't even know. They knocked on his door, and I think he didn't even know. He thought he was his old teammates. I think it was Ronnie Lott, and I'm not sure who the other player was.
Yeah.
But he just happy to see them, and he didn't know it when they told him you get in the Hall of Fame. He's like, what? He's like, man.
My God, and he was the first one, Vaughn. I don't know if you remember watching him play that much, but he was the first guy that were, one of the first guys that were 1,000 yard rushing and 1,000 yard receiving, high knees. I mean, you had to be, if you were in the way of his high step or his high knees, I mean, you would get a concussion trying to tackle him. But I remember him very, very well, and a Super Bowl champion. I think maybe 3 times Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, he is a 3-time. Mm-hmm. That's why I said, what took him so long?
Well, again, I mean, sometimes those ballots are stacked. And when guys come out every year, like they come out every year, you're going to have to give those guys their due. What I mean by that is that there was no doubt that Drew Brees was going to get in. There's no doubt that Larry Fitzgerald was going to get in on his first ballot. So next year is going to be the same thing when you pushing guys like Reggie Wayne and you pushing guys like Terry Holt that deserve to be in. It's hard. I mean, because the first ballot in the voting, they seem most deserving. And then they're thinking about also revamping the way the process goes and the rules that are written and the protocols to go by. So, yeah, it's tough because the automatics. And even next year, even Luke Kuechly, I didn't realize it was his second year in the ballot. I thought he was the first ballot Hall of Famer. But sometimes
I thought he was somewhat of a first. I thought he was first ballot as well. Luke Kuechly ended it early. The fact that I'm trying to see if I can. Okay, yep. Let's see this right here. A second. This was the reaction. Yeah! Look, he still don't know.
Welcome to the 2026 Hall of Fame, bro! These guys help me out all the time. So being in the Hall of Fame with them, I'm so amazed.
So that one got cut short, but so they was coming to knock on his door, and
So when he hugged Ronnie Lott the first time, he was just hugging him because I hadn't seen my brother in a long time.
They got popped up at his house, so he opened the door before they even knocked on the door, and he just happy to see them. And then when they telling him, he's like, "What? Like, get out of here!" So he didn't even realize that's when he was putting it all together. But after waiting that long, you probably think like, "Man, my time gonna ran out." But yeah, so that definitely was a special moment. I'm glad that they was able to capture that one. And what about even Randy Moss was the one that introduced it to Larry Fitzgerald, and Larry Fitzgerald used to be the ball boy for the Vikings.
Right.
And they said something about Randy Moss gave Larry Fitzgerald his car to drive to prom.
Oh, absolutely. That's true. And I don't know if Larry Fitzgerald actually told the story or Randy Moss, but they knew that Minnesota Vikings team, Chris Carter and the late, great Dennis Green, the head coach, they knew that Larry Fitzgerald had hands like nobody's business. And you've heard me tell you this stat about Larry Fitzgerald, and I don't mind telling it again. You might have remembered it. Larry Fitzgerald in his career has more tackles than drop passes. In his entire career, he has more tackles than drop passes. And a lot of people say, how could that happen? Well, he played with a lot of quarterbacks and threw a lot of interceptions.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, that mean you played a long time.
Well, you played a long time, but still as a wide receiver, you shouldn't have that many tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, you think about, he was the one, the legendary James Harrison run. He ran James Harrison down, but he still scored for that.
He still scored.
He tried to run him down for sure. One more quick sports short I got for you. I want to ask you before we get really involved in the Super Bowl. In their prime, you got to cut one. You gonna start one, you gonna bench one, and you gonna trade one. Who it is? Who you got?
I'm trading Marshawn Lynch, and I'm cutting Derrick Henry. No, I'm trading Derrick Henry, cutting Marshawn Lynch, starting Barry Sanders.
And you gonna bench AP?
I'm going to bench him, but again, as soon as Barry Sanders taps his hat and say I'm a little bit tired, then he can come in the game and spare Barry. I'll still have him on the team. But yeah, it's going to be Barry starting. AP's benched until Barry can't go anymore. And Marshawn Lynch is going to get cut. And then I probably can get some value from Derrick Henry. But that's a tough one. So I don't want to make it sound like it's so quick, like, disrespecting Marshawn Lynch or Derrick Henry. And if I think about it, you only got one Super Bowl winner there.
That's what I was about to say. There's no way I'm trading the one with the ring or cutting the one with the ring. Derrick Henry can go beat it. If you start Adrian Peterson, nobody else gonna ever get no play time because he is 3-4 down pat. Barry Sanders, obviously legendary. But I gotta at least keep the one with the ring. I might bench Marshawn Lynch, and God, I can't. I'll trade Adrian Peterson, or I may trade Barry Sanders. But no. I trade Adrian Peterson. I'm cutting Derrick Henry, and I'm going to have Marshawn Lynch coming off the bench and Barry Sanders starting.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. You can get a lot of value from AP. It don't matter which AP we talking about.
That's right.
He probably still got some value right now as we speak. But let's jump into Super Bowl. Leading up to it, we already discussed it. It's just time for you to make your Super Bowl predictions. What's some things that stands out to you leading up to this game, and where do you think it's gonna go?
The closeness of these teams is the number one thing that I look at. The closeness. I mean, these teams are not separated by much at all. Special teams, you got Rashid Shaheed with the Seattle Seahawks. That's electric. That he can return a punt, kickoff, uh, explosive in the passing game as well. So right away. Then when you look at the New England Patriots on special teams, you got Marcus Jones that can do it all. I mean, he's got the most return. I mean, he's had the best average in NFL history on punt returns. So special teams is pretty even, but I think that's going to be a huge part of the game if it comes down to field goals, and field position. And Vaughn, defensively, which quarterback can stand the pass rush, the different defensive disguises, schemes, uh, simulated pressure? The teams, both of them, Seattle Seahawks, top five defense, Patriots, top five defense. These quarterbacks are going to have it out. They're going to have it out for them. And there's no way I can sit here, Vaughn, and for 2 straight weeks, back to back, almost back to back, and go against Sam Darnold. I just can't do it. I can't go against Sam Darnold at all, and I refuse to go against him again because I picked the San Francisco 49ers to beat him. I also picked the Rams to beat him, and I picked those guys to beat him because of Sam Darnold, and he won the last game for him. Well, they didn't win despite him for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards passing. So I can't do it anymore.
So you like Seattle. For me, I'm going. I think not to say that anything to do with Belichick. This is a different team. However, Mike Vrabel is a descendant player of Bill Belichick, so obviously he wants to get it done. But I think with with Robert Kraft being snubbed out of the Hall of Fame, that's just a little extra fire for them boys to want, a little extra want to bring in another Super Bowl championship back to Robert Kraft. Not saying they didn't want to bring it back anyway, but that's just another reason for them to play a little harder to make it say like, hey, NFL or hey, Hall of Fame, y'all don't want to let him in, but guess what? He's the most winningest NFL owner that you gonna have. It ain't no way around that. So I like the Patriots. I wouldn't go against the Patriots. I agree, Sam Darnold, that Seattle defense is strong, but I think the Patriots gonna just been favored all season. Not favorite as the favorite, but they just gonna have favor. Whether it be they going through the AFC.
That's a good way to put it.
They going through the AFC and the starting quarterback in the AFC Championship is out 2 plays before, and now you playing with a backup, or you going against Aaron Rodgers and you on the road, or CJ Stroud is fighting demons and you at home and the weather is crazy. I just think, one way or another, sometimes I think Tom Brady said sometimes winning a Super Bowl, it's a little bit of luck that come into play. We gonna say plenty of time, even in defeat, when what's his name? Tyree caught that catch against his helmet. You got the Super Bowl where they came back against the Falcons. Think about that catch that Edelman made. Like, now you would think even with Seattle, it was a play that was made by what was it, wide receiver name? Curse. Was it Javon Curse? Where it's
not Javon Curse, but
not Javon Curse. What was it? What's his first name? But Curse, the wide receiver, where it's fumbling, and this got them in the red zone to be looking to score. But then they got fancy. So obviously, whoever can take care of the ball, who don't turn the ball over as much, and you got two defenses that's really greedy. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Obviously, I'm coming back home. Title Town is coming back to Boston and New England. I like the Patriots.
I don't disagree with your pick and the reasons why. However, I would say this, and both coaches would say no. Well, Mike Vrabel will say this as far as the Patriots. If you need any extra motivation about Robert Kraft and have to play harder because you want to bring it back home, then you don't belong in the last game of the season. That motivation is going to always be there. Already is there. That whole excitement. They're not going to be able to really sleep tonight, Vaughn. the festivities that go on all day. You remember I was a part of it when it was in San Diego. It's a all day affair as far as celebrities walking the sideline, halftime perform. I mean, a pregame performances. Now the players are not going to be a part of it, but that's going to be the surrounding aura. You're going to feel this excitement of the biggest game, the biggest. I don't want to call it a spectacle, but the biggest platform in sports. I mean, it's the biggest day, man. Super Bowl Sunday, it's a huge day. Which quarterback again? I heard Troy Aikman talk earlier this week. Which quarterback? Because there are going to be nerves, tremendous nerves. Which quarterback can settle in early? Which quarterback would they call a first pass play that he's not going to air mail it out of bounds or he's not going to throw it in the dirt because it's going to happen because of just the nerves? Can you settle in the first first five plays? Does it take you a quarter to settle in? But to his point was there's no doubt that they will have nerves. It's just how quickly can they get over them.
Well, Drake Maye is trying to get off to a historic Brady-esque start. And of course, I don't ever compare anybody to Brady, but just in regards to getting the Super Bowl this young under their belt, we'll see what he can do. But I want to transition since we're talking about the Super Bowl. We've been talking about NFL Hall of Famers and legends. It seemed like a few of the legends is just fed up with a lot of stuff that's going on. So we're going to go over here to Eric Dickerson where he was stopped. Let's just listen to him.
Last time we talked to you, we were talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. So I gotta ask, have you given like some time to like listen to some Bad Bunny? Like maybe give him a shot.
Absolutely not, man. Why don't we get somebody right here from home? How about someone from right here in San Francisco? All these artists right here in the area to play the Super Bowl. You know, somebody who's speak English. You know, I'm not going to get Spanish.
The whole thing is gonna be in Spanish. There's a few.
What does that make? I mean, man, don't get me talking.
But Puerto Rico is America. I'm Puerto Rican too.
Puerto Rico is not America.
It's a territory.
It's a territory. You can't vote. You don't have a right to vote.
Which is a problem. A lot of people would say.
It's not U.S. You can call it U.S. It's U.S. territory is what it is. That's all it is.
So I mean, look. You know what? Absolutely, I can vote. You know,
you're a citizen.
and I think they deserve a shot at especially if we're going to occupy their space.
You can look at his face at the end. Eric Dickerson ain't going for it. He is not happy about this halftime performance by Bad Bunny. There is. What's your thoughts? I was thinking about putting this on in between the lines or out of bounds, just based on his comments. But I think it's a little bit more that we can dive into. What's your thoughts on the halftime? Are you excited about it? Don't care? What's your thoughts? How you feeling in regards to that?
Oh, I do care. There's no doubt about it. I enjoy the halftime show, and I don't pick and choose of who I want, who I don't want doing the halftime show. I give them all a chance. And Bad Bunny, I have not listened to one song. And I think one of my friends said that you have listened to a song before. You just didn't know it was Bad Bunny. I'm like, okay. But just then, did I hear it correctly that he's going to be singing everything in Spanish? Are we going to have to read the words on the bottom of the screen like translating or the, whatever, when you watch a movie that the words are going on the bottom of the screen? Is that what we're going to have to be doing?
Well, he doesn't know much English, so it's not like he going to make new songs. I think Kendrick Lamar is the only guy that has ever dropped the album right before the Super Bowl, because I think GNX came out in October, and then he performed majority of those songs in the Super Bowl. So, but people obviously knew all his songs real by that time, or at least the youth did. But yeah, Bad Bunny ain't playing no new songs. He can't learn English and try and perform it. It's going to be more for the international. I think they was thinking international scope. However, the Tinglings, and I doubt this would happen now because she just performed with the NFL honors, but they say Cardi B got a lot of songs with him, or a couple songs at least, and you would think that they would bring Cardi B out, being that this is a grand opportunity, but she just performed for the NFL honors, so I think she would be more of a headline than a surprise, but so many folks is upset and you got so many folks on the West Coast, and you got to think about it. The Hispanic community on that end is huge. So it's a lot of people that is excited. We just not one of them.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give it a chance. I don't feel like Eric Dickerson feels. However, this would make more sense if this was an all-star in the NBA, right? Why I say that, Vaughn, is because the NBA is more international. The NBA has more, demographic playing in their league. Mm-hmm. The NFL doesn't strike me as being all that. I know there are more than just whites, Caucasians and African American in the National Football League, but it's probably just a handful. It's just a handful outside of Caucasian and African American. So, man, I really don't want to sit there and not be able to hear what he's saying. And if it's going to be all about the beats, can he dance? Is he an entertainer? Or all those type of things, I don't know about him. So I didn't even want to do my research before watching him on tomorrow night. I wanted to make sure he surprised me, and I'm going to be listening intently, and hopefully he gives us a show. So what I'm not going to do, Vaughn, I'm not going to feel some type of way because I'm iffy right now or feel that I don't want him to perform, and all of a sudden tomorrow he gives a good performance and I stick by my guns and be like, hey, he shouldn't have done it. If he comes out and it be very entertaining, I'm going to have to give him his kudos.
No, absolutely. So we're going to go from Eric Dickerson being pissed off to now Emmitt Smith had some words to say about something else in regards to this past week.
I mean, what we talking about? We're talking about some BS.
Emmitt, I'm going to let you go.
I got a question for you.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
How does Shedeur Sanders make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games in the National Football League? Answer that.
You tell me.
How does a guy make the Pro Bowl with just 5 games or 6 games as a starter? Oh, I know how. It's ticket sales. It's ticket sales. It's merchandising. That's how they do it.
So, and then now prior to that, I want to reference, he did say he felt like the Browns had been hating on Shedeur. He felt like clearly he should have been starting, but then he like flipped the script and was like, tell me, with all that he went through, how in the world did he make a Pro Bowl? And that was my thoughts. It's like, as much as I root for Shedeur, other than that favor again, God's favor, it's like the NFL do things and they want you to just act like it makes some kind of sense or they got some type of understanding behind the things that they do. I feel like whether we talking about the Hall of Fame, whether we talking about the Pro Bowl, whether we talking about a lot of things, there's no standard for the NFL. They just do whatever they want and they tell you, this is what it is. And they hoping that the fans go for it. Don't care if they go for it or not because they don't never flip it. They don't ever say, okay, I'm coming back. We going to let Belichick be in the Hall of Fame. Or, okay, it's no standard to get in the Pro Bowl. I'm not sure. But I felt the same way as Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith summed it all up. He summed it up how I feel. He summed it up about how a lot of people feel. Remember, Emmitt Smith is a good friend and a teammate of Deion Sanders.
Right.
So he wants Shedeur to do well. He was rooting for Shedeur during the season. He was saying that Kevin Stefanski and the Browns organization just dropped the ball on why Shedeur wasn't playing or didn't have many opportunities before he played 7 games. With that being said, Emmitt also was saying to us, that's a joke. With 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, that in only playing 7 games that you made it into the Pro Bowl.
Right.
So all those things could be true. So he's speaking more so as a friend, as a son of a friend that I have, a former teammate. I'm all pro Shedeur. But when I'm talking about a football legend, I'm a football legend and a Hall of Famer. I don't like that being watered down. And you watered down the Pro Bowl, and it's been watered down for a long time. So I'm with you, man. I totally see where Emmitt Smith is coming from, no doubt.
And with it being watered down, but that's almost even in regards to the Hall of Fame. Like I said, it waters it down because it's not as prestige when you knowing that you got some voters that can be some misunderstandings. But it's and again, not taking nothing away from the guys that got Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, or Larry Fitzgerald, but all of their asses could have waited another year if it came down to Bill Belichick being first ballot Hall of Fame. Like, if you could have returned all 5 of them, the whole package, and just say, okay, Bill Belichick gonna be entered this year, it should have been that way, not the other way around. And it's no, if we talking about a standard of excellence, because out of those guys, you got Drew Brees who won a ring, of course. Roger Craig, we said, got 3, and Adam Vinatieri got 3. Adam Vinatieri had 2 with New England, 1 with Indianapolis. So you got a couple champions, of course, but even if you put them together, they still ain't got more than Bill Belichick.
No, Vaughn, I would say this, and I agree with you, but I don't agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I don't feel it's going to be watered down. It's watered down for the moment, but next year this time it's not going to be watered down anymore when Bill Belichick gets in.
But
so it's watered down. We're going to be private.
Should we turn turn the other cheek because we know they got done the man wrong?
No, hear me out now. Not turn the other cheek. Be taken aback like we are. Be frustrated and upset, and for now it's watered down a little bit. But I don't want Drew Brees to feel that this is watered down. I don't want Kuechly to feel this is watered down, or Larry Fitzgerald and Roger Craig. I don't want them to feel it's watered down because of what happened to Bill Belichick. And it is a travesty, right? It is something that, that people are in an uproar about. But next year, this time, what are we going to say when I think he is, when Bill Belichick does get in, are we going to say boo? Is it going to be watered down then? I just think right now we're not prisoners of the moment, but we're just in our feelings about the Hall of Fame now because of Bill Belichick. But in a year's time, I think we'll gloss over it.
I think they glossed over it with T.O. And like you said, because Tom Brady will be up real soon as well. And if they
2020, yes.
If they did it then, it's gonna be trouble. It'll be trouble if they try to pull that on Brady. I will say that. Speaking of Brady, real quick, is it big news or nothing at all? The fact that he said he doesn't have a dog in the fight. We talked about this a few days ago when you called me. But now they saying he got unfollowed. He's no longer following the Patriots after 20 seasons. Is this something or is this nothing at all?
It was something, but now there's nothing at all, Vaughn. Because it's nothing at all because he texted or he captioned Robert Kraft, so he's back on board now. I just saw that about 2-3 hours ago.
What you mean he captioned Robert Kraft?
Captioned on Instagram and said that I can't wait to join the club and for you to join the club with me with seven rings. So he started off last week saying that I don't have a dog in the fight. Let the best team win. But so many of his teammates, Vince Wilfork and Teddy Bruschi, Damian Woody, they came out this week and just was not necessarily roasting him, but they're like, hey, Tom, is this political? What are you talking about, man? You have a statue outside the stadium. You a Patriot through and through. So I really firmly believe, 98% believe that got to him, because as of today, when I looked it up today or when it was on my timeline, that he retracted that and he said that he is rooting for the Patriots to get their 7th, because he told Robert Kraft, I want you to join my club as having 7 Super Bowl rings.
My thoughts on it, because I seen Grunt didn't give him too much of a hard time. He just was saying he felt like he understood that he got a job to do and he was just trying to remain neutral. I didn't see Edelman say nothing about it because they smart. I didn't see Randy Moss say nothing about it. And when I say smart, it's just you don't bite the hand that feeds you. A lot of them guys we talking about, Teddy Bruschi, Vince Wilfork, y'all wouldn't have no Super Bowl if it wasn't for Tom Brady. Now, of course, y'all was anchors on that defense, so you did your part. But you got no room to be speaking to Brady. No room. And maybe
I don't agree with that. Listen, what do you mean, man? No room to speak to him.
Listen. I think he was just waiting closer to the Super Bowl to make his pick. Why should he make his pick on Monday and you got a whole week when everybody already assumed that he picking the Patriots anyway?
No, well, see, that's different from making a pick and who you want to win. You and I deal with that all the time. Sometimes I make a pick and who I want to win, Well, I tell you who I want to win. In my mind, in my football analyst, uniform, I might pick a team that I'm rooting against, or I'm rooting for. I might pick the team outside of who I'm rooting for. Tom Brady didn't say. Tom Brady didn't say he's not going to pick. Tom Brady said he doesn't have a dog in the fight. Let the best team win. When asked about who he's rooting for, that's clearly different from putting his analyst hat on and waiting for the end of the week, closer to the game. That's clearly win is no problem.
I think it was just a matter of time before he spoke on who he felt, or I think folks was taking it overboard.
Oh, no way.
They
no
taking
way.
it overboard, man.
No way. Vaughn, there is no way 20 years in well, that's what I'm saying. There's no way he's going to be 20 years with the Pats and he's not going to pick the Patriots.
But that's
just like you. That's just like you. That's just like you right now saying, hey, you're going to ride with your boys, whether or not that you pick the Patriots, and not saying you don't think they're going to really win, but you weren't going to go against them. So what's he waiting on? We know that he's not going to go against the Patriots. What is he waiting on?
Man, when the GOAT talk, you wait until he speaks.
Oh,
you don't okay. If Michael
Jordan,
but he said he didn't have a dog in the fight. If Michael Jordan would have said that and the Bulls was in it, folks wouldn't give him as much backlash.
Yes, they would have a big problem.
Why would they? If he an owner of another team.
Vaughn, I think it's a total different deal. Totally different. If the Seahawks or the Patriots are going to be playing the Raiders, I get you.
No, of course it's not. No, then obviously you going with your team.
So what would be harm? What would be harmful for him to pick the Patriots? Even with his analyst job, they're not calling the game. It's not on Fox. So and his ownership with the Raiders, what would be the harm?
I don't know, but he got in trouble before, or they tried to do some investigation before. I think he just trying to cover his steps. That's the same thing Gronk said. It's like you know what side he on. People just wanted him to say the obvious, and then got mad when he didn't. That's why I said.
But then he turned around and did.
Because, like I said, he probably was gonna do that the whole time anyway. Especially after Robert Kraft didn't get into the Hall of Fame.
He did that after though.
But that's what I'm saying. He did it after Robert Kraft got snubbed. So now he was gonna say that anyway.
I think he said he didn't have a dog in the fight before Robert Kraft. I mean, after Robert Kraft got snubbed, he said he didn't have a dog in the fight. No, because
Robert Kraft, we found out about Robert Kraft like Tuesday. It was this week when we found out that he got snubbed when we recorded on Monday.
No, Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick? Bill Belichick.
No, Bill Belichick got snubbed last week because he wasn't even a finalist. But Robert Kraft was one of the finalists, and then when they found out he didn't make it, that was after Tom Brady already had this discussion, already had said this.
I don't know who all else spoke about it, but his former teammates, when they were saying, come on, sounds like something that's deeper, political. When they spoke on it, like, hey, come on, Tom, are you joking me? So it's almost like he was playing games. So if you feel that way,
my thing is, why did Brady leave? Brady should have never left. The Patriots messed up by letting him leave, which Robert Kraft has said. He went on record and said he should have never let Brady leave.
Yeah, Belichick thought he was over the hill. Yes, he should have never left.
He left and won a ring. So in Tom Brady's mind, when the GOAT talk, it's nothing wrong that he's saying.
Vaughn, I totally agree with you if he had kept his stance. Okay, so what you're saying is true. They ran him off and they didn't want him anymore. So even if he's in his feelings, then you keep it as I don't have a dog in the fight, may the best team win. But when you come back and say change your mind and go with the Patriots, then that's where I don't believe what you're coming from as far as he's feeling that he did him wrong.
But did he say he was going with the Patriots, or did he just say, "Hey, I want you to get your 7th ring. I'm gonna introduce you to the club. You introduce me to being a champion. I'm introducing you to this sacred club."
Well, the title of the article said Brady backpedals his statement, and when I read it, it was like, yeah, I'm rooting for the boys. Yes.
Like I said, man, Brady can't do no wrong in my belt. He put them fingers up. He gonna blind you. But talking from one champion to the next, let's discuss this last sports short with Signetti and what his thoughts on how the national champions practice up there in Bloomington, Indiana.
We'll practice 13 times. I've never practiced 15 times in the spring yet. I've never practiced 25 times in fall camp. But we'll get enough done in 13 days.
Is that right?
Yeah, never.
And an hour and a half on the field, you said.
Bro. Yeah. Now spring ball may go 150.
That's gonna get players there off that schedule. You keeping them fresh, you keeping them ready to go. Efficiency.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do is keeping them fresh and healthy. Because nobody has depth, and I've never had a team that had enough depth.
I like that. I like that thought process right there. He said, "Don't know. I ain't never had enough team that's too deep, but you trying to keep them boys fresh." What's your thoughts on Signetti, Joe?
Man, I love him. Every time he speaks, man, he's becoming my favorite each and every time because you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting when he talks. You know what you're getting when he says efficiency and he thinking about the players. And I've been around coaches and heard about coaches that they not dare not practice 15 times in the spring. They're going to practice every allotted time that the NCAA can give them. They're going to practice 15. And it's going to be going 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes, minimal, just to get that work in and get the evaluation in. So when you look back at it and he's going to cut it 2 practices short, oh my God. And they're only practicing, one hour 30 to an hour 50. And also in that clip, because I heard more than we just played right there, Vaughn. He said about how when the practice is over, his coaches can leave. His coaches can leave and his coaches can go about doing what they want to do as long as their job is done. You know how many coaches in the NCAA or how many coaches in college play peekaboo to where they're making sure they hall watch. They want to see their coach come in or their coaching staff come in at 7 o'clock and don't leave till 10 o'clock at night. Definitely that was the old school and some coaches changing it up now. But he's telling you, I'm running an organization where I want things to be done efficient. I don't want you to be tired. I don't want you to be fatigued. I don't want you to be exhausted. I want you to come in fresh, ready to rumble. And when you have done your job, go home and get refreshed again.
No, I love it.
I
think Signetti is just changing the game. He's reframing and putting in place in new systems, just like what we discussed last episode, talking about the life lessons in regards to how Prime is doing in Colorado. It's not transitioning to wins yet thus far. However, for Signetti, he just works smarter, not harder. We ain't gotta. We gotta keep it from a coach's standpoint. It's no use to being out there so long and you're getting your players bruised up or your players not being able to make it to Saturday.
He's going to have to turn down a lot of people wanting to come and talk to his staff as far as coaching clinics. They want to see how he did things or how he goes about his work on a day-to-day basis because he just got it done. And he got it done very, very quickly. In 2 years, he turned the program around. So that you would be a fool not to go see or not to visit him and see what he's doing. And it was just funny watching that clip and hearing it because one of the toughest, hard-nosed coaches that has been in college football is Urban Meyer. That's
and one of the most winning coaches.
Yes. So it goes back to where there is still more than one way to skin a cat. So who's to say that what Urban Meyer was doing is completely wrong when he's got, 3 national championships? Nick Saban, Coach Saban, is one of those guys that I think he grinds out too pretty good. And we know how many championships he has. So I don't think it's just one way, but the new age and the players are having more of a say in things. I think this is the right way. You heard Mark Ingram say, well, you sure going to get some recruits there now? If you're thinking that you're going to save them and not practice as hard, so that's going to be another feather in your cap when you're talking about recruiting players.
Rightfully so. Also, Nick Saban did say, though, he said, when he first started, things have changed now. He said when he first started, it was all about defense, running the ball, controlling the clock. Now it's putting up as many points as you can and just containing teams. So the whole mindset had to shift in order for him to stay successful. And like I said, I think Kurt Signetti is just implementing a new system where if people smart, they gonna pay attention to what he doing. Because if not, now you got your other powerhouses that they can stick with what they doing.
Right.
Clemson may not be
a powerhouse if you're a champion, like Ohio State and Ryan Day. He can stick to it. Kirby Smart can stick to it. But you can't just sit there and not be in the championship mindset or be in the championship semifinal, even the final, or even like Coach Dabo Sweeney.
That's what I was about to say.
If I'm his athletic director right now, I'm calling him in the office and saying, "Hey, do you think it's time for us to, rethink our ways?"
Yeah, or you can be stubborn and die on the sword. Some people never change, and we're gonna see. I'm interested. Can't wait for the season to start. This was another great addition to sports shorts. Lastly, Joe, who is your Super Bowl MVP? You picked the Seahawks, so obviously it had to be coming from the Seattle Seahawks. You got JSN or Sam Darnold. Or do you got 3? What's his name? The running back that be running hard.
No, number 9. Kevin Walker the third.
That one, I call him 3 because he's the third. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. No, I'm going with the easy pick, and I'm going with Sam Darnold, quarterback, because that's the only way they're going to win. They can't hide him in this game. They cannot hide him. They can't expect Sam Darnold to come on and play safe and time management, football. What do you call it? What did Cam Newton call those quarterbacks that just barely?
Game managers.
Game manager. Now, I don't think that's a bad term at all, because you want to be cognizant of all the clock and 4th down, 3rd down, and the time on the clock and running it down when you do all those type things. But he can't just be safe with that football. He can't be. He's going to have to take some shots. He's going to have to throw the ball in some tight windows. And I just don't think Seattle can win, and that's why I pick. I just don't think they can win without him playing magnificent. And with that, I'm going a slightly high score for a Super Bowl. I am going 21-17, the Seattle Seahawks.
I think it's going to be around that score or lower, and that's why I think it may not even be a quarterback that wins Super Bowl MVP. I think he can be a defensive player or maybe even a wide receiver this year, just based on it's not going to be that much scoring or that much high scoring. But let me say, if Drake Maye is even a possible nominee and the Patriots win, you better believe Drake Maye about to be the Super Bowl MVP. That's what I would think. And obviously his numbers got to be.
Why are you saying that? Because of the love for him?
Yeah, because again, like we talked about last week, they looking for somebody next to pass the torch to that they can rival Patrick Mahomes or, because they've been shooting blanks with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So Drake Maye would be another quarterback, and then they seem not to really like Jalen Hurts to that degree. He keep winning, but they seem to not like to that degree Jalen Hurts.
That's right.
Trevor Lawrence or Herbert ain't been able to do a damn thing. So, if Drake Maye deserves it or earns it, then very much so. But I wouldn't be surprised if we got a defensive Super Bowl MVP, or if we got, like I said, a wide receiver, even a running back coming that wins it. Another great episode of Sports Shorts.